Hi friends, welcome to Creative DIY Purpose. This week I have 8 upcycle projects using custom waterslide decals and free printables that I have available for you over on my blog. We're going to share some tips for creating quality custom decal image transfers using waterslide decals. Here are some of the materials and tools that you'll need for this project. A pair of scissors, a clean cloth, a shallow pan full of room temperature water, the item that you're going to put your decal on, your waterslide decals, a spray sealer, and some rubbing alcohol to clean off your glass surfaces. I'll be using my inkjet printer, but you can also use a laser printer with a special laser paper. For the projects today, I'll be using the clear waterslide decal paper by the brand Hayes. They also have white waterslide decals. After you print your decal paper, you're going to want to use some spray sealer. This is the most important step when creating quality decals. Once you spray the page, I recommend looking at it from the side view to make sure that your decals are completely covered with a sealer. Cut around your image and soak your decal in room temperature water. And then after about 30 to 60 seconds, your decal will start to slide off of the paper. Just slide it up a little. Take the edge of your finger and hold the top of the decal while you remove the paper backing off the decal. Then you're going to be able to slide your decal into place because you have the water under it. And then once you have it in place, remove the bubbles with a cloth. So let's talk about sealers, since it is such an important step in creating quality waterslide decals. This I actually copied right off of the hayespaper.com. They recommend 3 coats of sealer. Now, they say to spray, allow it to dry for a minute, and then spray again. But in humid areas, it definitely takes a lot longer than a minute or 2 for each coat to dry. I normally use the 2-time clear spray from Rust-Oleum, but on these projects today, I used triple spray glaze from Krylon and absolutely loved it. Now, because the triple spray that I used was a glaze, you can see that the decal is shiny. If you apply matte spray either to seal your decal, or you can apply matte spray right over your finished project, the edges of the decal will not be as noticeable. Let's get into project number 2. It is this thrifted ceramic bowl. To prep the surface, I wipe it down with some rubbing alcohol and then dab some water onto the item, which is something that you want to do. This is going to allow you to slide your decal into position if needed. So once you push the decal up off of the paper is very slippery. You're going to want to hold firmly onto your decal, so not just with the finger, because you can tear it, and then you just gently remove the paper backing and then slide your decal into place, and then push any remaining water out. It does take time for the decal to fully adhere to the surface, so be sure not to handle the decal too much because you can still tear it. And then once it's dry, you can apply a coat of sealer over your entire project. All right, so this one is my favorite. This was the inside of a broken Instapot, and I'd like to make it into a little garden planter. This image was from the graphicsfairy.com, and I took it over to Canva and added some cracks to the image to give it a little aged look. This graphic is available in both the standard form and the reverse image as well. If applying your decal onto the back of glass, like in a picture frame or a window, you're going to want the reverse image. So when adding a decal onto a curved surface, it can be a little bit tricky. So here I have an image, and I wanted to see if I could apply it to this little picture. I did end up taking a pair of scissors and cutting 2 slits on either side of the bottom just to help to smooth it out. All in all, it worked fairly well. There's just a few tiny wrinkles along the one side, but it's barely noticeable. And I believe that once I spray it with the entire piece with that triple coat glaze, you won't be able to see the wrinkles at all. One of the first pieces that I ever applied a Waterslide decal to was a 2-page one. It was a table for my son's dorm room. I did go over that decal with some fine grit sandpaper, so that would be another option as well. So let me know below, have you ever tried Waterslide decals? If you have, then how did you like them? And did you have any challenges with them? I know in the past, the only challenge that I've really had with them is the spray sealer. If there is one small portion that doesn't have that triple coat on it, the ink can come completely off when you put it into water, or sometimes the decal can become gummy and almost disintegrate. So the spray sealer is super important. That and making sure that your water that you're dipping your decal in is at room temperature, not too cold, and definitely not hot water, because I made that mistake before and the label itself will become very gummy. This is another vintage graphic from thegraphicsfairy.com, and I added some lavender to it over in Canva, and it's available as a free printable over on my blog. So I love how these little glass bottles remind me of old-fashioned milk containers. So I made this graphic over on canva.com, and soon I'll be doing a series on tutorials on different things that you can make over at Canva. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe and make sure that you hit the bell to get the notifications. Now the decal will show a lot better because I'm going to be filling it with a homemade foot soak with some Epsom salts, so it will actually make that decal pop. The other thing that I tried to do was paint that circle and then apply the decal on, and it did work. However, the paint was still wet, which is why you see the marks in the paint. So I need to redo that when I have some time. So I thought this little bottle was neat. All I did to remove that wrap was soak the bottle in boiling hot water and then removed it using some fine grit sandpaper. So I loved the way that this graphic came out on that bottle, and I went to pick it up and put it on the table to dry and pushed the decal with my thumb and popped a hole in it. So I've never done that. So I just wanted to warn you guys that it is possible. So I'm just going to apply another decal that I have. This is one of the vintage clock images that are available over on my blog. I think there was a total of 22 of them. And then I also put this image in with the old time lavender printables. I did take some chalk paint and paint the back of the bottle, made that decal pop a little more. Here are a few benefits of making your own custom water decals if you want to take a screenshot of it, and it's also posted over on my blog. And there are just a few challenges with using this type of DIY transfer. Friends, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, be sure to comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you head over to my blog, be sure to sign up for the newsletter because I'll be sending a newsletter out this week via email with a free printable. Have a super blessed week and God bless.